Dear friends, welcome to Inquest, in-depth analysis and to the point. In this video, let us discuss about first week September current affairs 2021 part 2. Part 1 of the same has been already shared with you. If you have not watched, you can click on the I button on this video to watch the earlier video. And this activity is useful for UPSC, KPSC and all state civil services examinations and for all other competitive examinations. Dear friends, the content that we would be discussing here will be shared in the form of PDF in this video in the description box. You may also download the same after watching the video. Before getting into the news in details, let us see the index of today's discussion. Number 1, Ladakh adopts state animal and bird. Number 2, experts flag diversion of fresh water from Brahmani river. Number 3, footprints of 3 dinosaur species found in Tar. Number 4, Kukrebelluru pelicans to be geotagged. Number 5, new device to conduct microbial experiment in space. Now let us see each and every news in detail. First news is about Ladakh. So Ladakh is the new union territory, as you all know, has come up with its own new state animal and state bird. Let us see which is the state animal and state bird and what are their special features. Ladakh adopted 2 endangered species, snow leopard and black-necked crane as the state animal and state bird respectively. So state animal will be snow leopard and state bird is black-necked crane, and both are endangered species. And this has happened 2 years after it was carved out as a separate union territory from the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. So as you all know, in the year 2019, Ladakh became an independent union territory. Earlier, it was the part of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, this black-necked crane, it is only found in Ladakh region, was the state bird of Jammu and Kashmir before August 5, 2019. So, before August 5, 2019, it was the state bird of Jammu and Kashmir, and it is found only in the region of Ladakh. We don't see this very often in other parts of the country. And what is the special feature of this bird? Black-necked cranes are only found in Ladakh's Changthang region. It is Changthang region. They are described as majestic birds around 139 centimeter long and 235 centimeter wingspan and weighing up to 5 to 6 kilograms. This state animal snow leopard, whose numbers are actually dwindling worldwide, has been categorized as vulnerable. So this is important. So it is categorized as vulnerable in the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List. So the state animal is this snow leopard and state bird is black-necked crane, henceforth for the Union Territory of Ladakh. So with this, let us move to news number 2. So news number 2, diversion of Brahmani water and there will be raise in environmental concerns. And this article is related to environmental issues because there is diversion of Brahmani water for other activities that is leading to environmental issues. Now, before getting into the news article, let us understand what is this issue is all about in brief. So this issue is related to the state of Odisha that comes in the eastern part of the country, and the river Brahmani flows across different districts of Odisha across the line that I have been drawing here right now, and it flows across different districts of Odisha state, and finally it gets emptied into Bay of Bengal. And somewhere here there is mangrove forest. So for the growth of mangrove forest properly, the contribution of this Brahmani river is vital. And since this Brahmani water is being diverted for various other activities, the amount of water that is going to reach this mangrove is going to reduce drastically. Now, as the amount of water that is going to reach this mangrove is going to reduce drastically, that is going to change the regime of water. So regime of water in the sense, I would be talking with respect to the salinity. So the salinity of water that is going to reach this particular region is going to increase. So as the salinity of the water increases, it is going to affect the mangroves at this particular place. So this is the concern raised by the environmentalists. So now let us see this news in minute details. The coal mines as well as steel and power plants in this vicinity are drawing up a large amount of fresh water from the Brahmani river basin. So activities I mentioned are coal mines and steel power plant is drawing large amount of this fresh water. So Brahmani water is diverted for coal and steel and power plants. And this diversion is making reduction in water flow that would lead to drastic changes in the water regime of the Baitarkanika mangrove. So here there are Baitarkanika mangrove. It is going to affect the water regime. As I told you, it is going to increase the salinity of this water. So the salinity of the water is going to increase. Actually, mangroves grow in brackish water. Now, what is brackish water? Brackish water will be more saline than fresh water. So it is more saline than fresh water, but less saline than marine environment. So this is the ideal situation or ideal form of water to mangroves to grow, stay and healthy. So this is what is the ideal condition for this mangroves. But as the amount of water that is going to reach this area is going to cut for various other activities, so the salinity is going to increase, and that would cause an increase in the salinity of this water that affects the mangroves in this particular Baitarkanika mangroves. So now let us understand or get more details about Baitarkanika. Baitarkanika, this is a notified Ramsar wetland, is spread over 195 square kilometer, and it is a home for 62 mangrove species. Along with this, it is also home for 1,600 saltwater crocodiles. Actually, as I told you before, mangroves grow in brackish water. Proportionate fresh water flow from Brahmani river basin and Karastrota river keep the salinity levels of the water along the shore down. So this is the significant point that you need to understand. So Brahmani river and Karastrota river are contributing to reduce the salinity of this water. This reduction in salinity of the water is ideal for the growth of mangroves at Baitarkanika mangroves. And similar kind of an incident or disaster happened before also. This is with respect to the state of West Bengal. So in the state of West Bengal, due to Farakka barrage, there was Sundarban mangroves forest. It was badly hit after the commissioning of Farakka barrage. So due to the increase or commissioning of the Farakka barrage, similar kind of mangroves were affected in Sundarban's mangroves. So the reduction in water flow would lead to drastic changes in water regime of the Baitarkanika mangroves that is going to affect the growth of the same, stating that the lack of normal flow of fresh water would increase the saline ingression of upstream. It would affect local flora and fauna as well as livelihoods of farmers and the fishermen. Not just this, it is also going to have one more conflict, that is man crocodile conflict, because the estuarian crocodiles would leave the core sanctuary area and migrate upstream once the salinity is increased. Let's say the salinity of this water is increased, the crocodiles living at this particular area are going to migrate upstream. So as they are going to migrate upstream, it is going to increase man crocodile conflict. So these are the two issues. One is it is going to affect the natural growth of mangroves, and there will be man crocodile conflicts as well. Now let us understand or take more information about Brahmani river. So the Brahmani is the major seasonal river in the state of Odisha, and it is in the eastern part of India. Brahmani river, which is the second largest river in Odisha, first is Mahanadi, and is situated between Mahanadi basin and Baitarani basin. And it is the confluence of two rivers actually. One is Sank, other one is South Koel. So if you have to see it in the map, so this is Sank river and this is South Koel, and both get confluenced together, and it is going to flow across various districts of Odisha, and finally it gets emptied into Bay of Bengal at Dhamra region. And this together with Baitrani River, it forms a large delta before emptying into Bay of Bengal at Dhamra. So it is going to, along with Baitrani River, it is going to form a large delta and it gets emptied into Bay of Bengal at Dhamra region. So this is what is the information about Brahmani River. Now let us know more about Baitarkanika National Park. The national park is located in the Kendrapara district of the state of Odisha and was first declared as wildlife sanctuary in the year 1975, and subsequently the core area was declared as national park in the year 1988, and this obtained the status of Ramsar site in the year 2002. The sanctuary is the second largest mangrove ecosystem in India, located in the estuarian region of Brahmani Baitrani, with the Bay of Bengal lying in the east. So this is second largest mangrove ecosystem in India. It is the breeding place for the endangered saltwater crocodile. So this is the significant importance of Baitarkanika National Park. So it is the place of breeding center or breeding place for the endangered saltwater crocodiles. So even these crocodiles are endangered. And Gahirmata Beach, which forms the boundary of the sanctuary in the sense Baitarkanika Sanctuary, Gahirmata makes the boundary of this sanctuary towards east is the largest colony of the olive ridley sea turtles. So olive ridley sea turtles and seawater crocodile. So it is the significant habitat for both of these species. So this is what is the issue about Brahmani River, and diversion of this is leading to environmental concerns and increase in man-crocodile conflicts. So with this, let us move to news number 3. Footprints of 3 dinosaur species found in Thar. So you can see this picture. These are the footprints that are found recently in the region of Thar. Now let us understand which state the footprints are pictured, and let us see what is the speciality or features of these particular footprints and belong to which type of dinosaur. So in a major discovery, footprints of 3 species of dinosaurs have been found in the Thar Desert in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer district. So it is found in Rajasthan's Jaisalmer district, proving the presence of giant reptiles in the western part of the state, which formed the seashore to Tethys Ocean during the Mesozoic era. So this is estimated to be or anticipated to be formed in Mesozoic era in the seashore of Tethys Ocean. So in this article, we need to understand Tethys Ocean and also Mesozoic era. The footprints made in the sediment of silt of the seashore later became permanent stone-like. So actually in the seashore, these footprints are made on the silt in the beginning. Later they get converted into stone-like structure. They belong to 3 species of dinosaurs: Eubrontis giganteus, Eubrontis glenrosensis, and Gralotter tenuis. The footprints were around 200 million years old. They were found near Tayat village. The dinosaur species are considered to be the theropod type in the sense the forelimbs will be very, very small and they have hollow bones, and the feet with 3 digits. You can see the feet with 3 digits here, and all 3 species belonging to early Jurassic period, and all were carnivores is what is identified or anticipated, and these are the pictures of these footprints that are found. So with this, now let us understand more about Tethys Ocean and Mesozoic era. So since we all study geography, we know different eras under which the earth is evolved into what we have today. So when in the early stages of earth, it has only 2 major parts. So one is the land mass, and the land mass was just single piece of it, and it was called as Pangea in the earlier days. And there was water. Even the water was formed much later due to degassing of the earth. And this landmass, which was one single place, so gradually started breaking into different parts. And that is witnessed with various eras that we see across the formation of Earth. And here now we're talking about Mesozoic era, wherein we witnessed the formation of Tethys Ocean and two plates. The Earth was divided into two plates. So let us understand which were the two plates and which sea, and later it get converted into what are the oceans that we are seeing it today. So the Tethys Ocean, much of this ocean during Mesozoic era located between ancient continents of Gondwana and Laurasia. So you can see this term ancient continents. So the continents were Gondwana and Laurasia before the opening of the Indian Ocean and Atlantic Oceans during the Cretaceous period. So towards Cretaceous period, and this Tethys Sea got opened into Indian and Atlantic Ocean. So you can see here, so this is the entire thing is the Tethys Ocean. So it has divided the earth into two plates. One is called as Gondwana, other one is called as Laurasia. Much later, I mean to say towards Cretaceous period, this Tethys Sea opened into Indian and Atlantic Ocean. The plates further moved across, and due to this, there was formation of Indian and Atlantic Ocean. And finally, the Tethys Sea divided Pangaea. I told you Pangaea is the single land mass of Earth. Pangaea into two supercontinents. One is Laurasia and Gondwana. So with this, let us move to article number 4. Cochrane pelicans to be geotagged. Now, what is the purpose of this? This is to track their flight path and understand their migratory pattern. Now, who is doing this? Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, will geotag the spot-billed pelicans at Cochrane in Mandya district to track their flight path and study their migratory pattern. And this kind of an activity has been seen to be done for the very first time, and this Kokrebelluru is located at Bengaluru-Mysuru highway near Madduru. And this activity is going to help us understand habitat preferred by birds. This will help initiate conservation measures through suitable interventions apart from throwing light on their nesting pattern and breeding biology. Around 250 pelicans come to roost at Kokre, Belluru during peak season, and this is in addition to painted storks. Painted storks are one more kind of birds that come along with these pelicans, and they usually come around October or November, and they stay here for 6 months. But their whereabouts are not known for the remaining period, and geotagging will help us not only to track their movement but also ascertain preferential habitats of these birds in different seasons at different locations. Many pelicans are also sighted at Ranganathitu Bird Sanctuary, Lingabudi Kere, and also Mysuru Karanji Nature Park at Mysuru Karanji. So we could also see these birds at these three different places as well. And there are a little more than a dozen breeding sites of spot-billed pelicans in the country, and Kokrebelluru is one among them. So let us go to news article number 5. New device to conduct microbial experiments in outer space. So recently we have been witnessing a lot of experimentation in the space, and this is one more development to that. So for the microbial experiments, new device has been invented. So this is done by collaboration of ISRO and IISc, and they used LED and photodiode sensor combination to track bacterial growth. Now, why did they come up with such discovery? Because they had a few questions. The question number 1 is, what happens to microbes in outer space? Will their behavior pattern in such an extreme environment give us insight to help future space missions? Because there will be a lot of space missions that would be conducted by various countries, and this is going to help us find out the pattern of these microorganisms. So with these questions in mind, a team of researchers at Indian Institute of Science and Indian Space Research Organization ISRO have developed a modular self-contained device to cultivate microorganisms. This could enable scientists to carry out biological experiments in outer space. Now, Understanding how such microbes behave in extreme environments could provide insight for human space missions such as Gaganyaan, that is India's first crewed spacecraft set to be launched in 2022. So this activity is going to help us to understand the pattern of microorganisms that is going to help us in Gaganyaan that is going to be held in 2022. So with this, the all 5 articles that I have discussed completely, and if you have anything to say, you can definitely put in comments box. Thanks for watching. Namaskara.